Welcome to the 2023 Economic Depression and Preparation channel. Thank you for joining me here on this April 3rd, 2023. As we head into the second quarter of 2023, we can see that jobless claims are edging up. We also see that inflation is running steady. It's not increasing as fast as it used to, but it's running steady above 6.5%. Official numbers, unofficially above 12%. We can also see that companies investors are warning that the cuts or the rate cuts that are suspected by the Fed may not be the case, according to CNBC.com, BlackRock investors. And so here we have an article really quickly. We have the article here saying that jobless claims, quote, edge up to 198,000 higher than expected. We have they totaled a previous period 3,000 more than the 195,000 estimate. So continuing claims edged up to 1.689 million. And GDP is slowed down to 2% in the fourth quarter there for the final reading, 2.6%. We have a 10-year Treasury note running at 3.566 here, as you can see, and the 2-year note running at a 4.1% yield. So this is going to be more than expected. We can continue to expect more layoffs coming. As you guys have seen the news about McDonald's laying off some corporate employees and the higher ups. You also have seen the news about the other things that have been going on. BlackRock now warns investors that make a mistake by betting on the Fed to cut the rates. Right now, rates are continuing to be an aggressive tightening by the Fed, but now the Fed is going to be continuing to have to play catch up because we are behind on this cycle. Interest rates are running 7-8% on mortgages, 10-15% on cars. Credit cards are running 28 to 30% APR on some of these cards. And so all of this is going to continue. We're going to continue to see it's a bad combination when you have layoffs continuing in the hundreds and you also have inflation continuing above 6 to 7%. The good news is that this is slowly trickling through the economy. All of the money printing that they did previously is slowly trickling through this economy. And so what do you guys think? Do you think that there's going to be a pivot that they've been expecting in the summertime, maybe possibly in June or July when the Fed meets again? They're going to possibly pivot and cut the rates by 25 or 50 basis points, or do you think they will continue to raise rates by 25 or 50 basis points? I would like to know your thoughts on that. Currently, we don't expect Paul Volcker interest rates above 18-20%, but I do expect interest rates to continue to climb towards that 10% mark, 8 to 10% prime mark as well. So because of the situation that we're in, all of the money printing that has got us in the situation, all of the debt loads that continue to rise. As a matter of fact, the debt ceiling is going to be raised again by Congress coming up in this next 2 months here. By June, they have to make the decision. And so that's going to be something to look toward to as well. So I just want to touch base with you about this situation here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you anticipate the next Fed meeting to be a rate hike or a rate cut given into the pressures of Wall Street and on Main Street? And do you also think that there's going to be a lot of more banks closing, or you think the banks that were closing were just undercapitalized and over leveraged banks only? And do you also think that the banking scheme, the collapse scheme, was a scheme to monopolize the banks, create 5 or 6 big banks like Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and all the rest, to consolidate the banking industry? That's something that we're seeing, because you have to remember, in the Great Depression, we saw a lot of monopolizing going on too. And so there's money to be made in the Depression and Recession, no doubt. Wealth just transfers hands. There's money to be made. But the question is, are we going to be comfortable with having these monopolies in banking, food, and the groceries, and other monopolies taking over and not much variety? And so let me know what you think as well. Okay, God bless. It's just a brief video for today, Monday, April the 3rd, 2023. Be sure to subscribe to Preach to Me for the latest interpretation of financial news. God bless. Talk to you very soon.